Hi everybody. So today we are going to discuss about the DNS tool called as NSLookup. Now let us see how we can start the NSLookup tool from the command line. So this is actually the command line for Microsoft. You just have to type in NSLookup and that will take you to the command prompt or the NSLookup prompt. So what you see here is the DNS server information to which the DNS queries are being pointed to. So now you can see the 192.168.43.1 that is mentioned as the address. So currently any DNS query that I do from this prompt, those queries would be sent to this particular IP address. So this is a DNS server given out from my ISP. It's a local DNS server, right? And the name that you see here, unknown, it's actually the name of this particular DNS server. Now currently it is mentioned as unknown. The reason is because what it does is the computer does a reverse lookup for this particular IP address, and the name that comes in the data field for that PTR record or the PTR query is actually displayed here. So it looks like, the DNS or our computer was not able to find the actual name of the DNS server, this particular DNS server. That is why it is shown as unknown. Otherwise, you would actually see an FQDN here, something like ns1.test.com or something like that. Okay. Now let me do a query for google.com. .com. Put a dot in the end. So this shows, so when I did a query for google.com, now by default NSLookup, it does an A record as well as a Quadra A query for that particular record. And that is why when you get the response, you get both the Quadra A response, that is the IPv6 response, as well as the IPv4 response, right? Now I'll tell you what is meant by non-authoritative answer. I'll discuss that later on, but for the time being, understand that this is how the DNS query is made. Just type in the name, hit enter, and the particular DNS server should give you an answer like this. Now as you can see here, and as I said earlier, this is actually the A record as well as the Quadra A record for that particular query google.com. Now let's say I want to change the query type to, let's say, MX record. Then what you need to do is type in set q equal to MX, right? And then do the same query again. So now it will show me the MX records for google.com, as you can see here. So this is how you need to change the record type using the set q is equal to query is equal to MX. Now you could also type in set type equal to MX. Basically that's also the same thing. So if you want to change the type or the query type, you can actually use set q equal to MX or set type equal to MX. It does basically the same thing. So let me just try something else. Type equal to NS. So this NS, as we all know, that is the name server record, right? Let me do the query one more time. So now it shows the name servers for google.com: ns1.google.com, ns2, ns3 and ns4. These are the 4 name servers for google.com. Now let us check how we can change the name server to which, or the DNS server to which the DNS queries are pointed to. Currently, the DNS server is mentioned as 127.0.0.1. So that is where the DNS queries are pointed to. If we want to change that to another DNS server, keep in mind that this is only for NSLookup. This does not change the DNS server configured in your computer. So type in, so this is Google's OpenDNS server. So now I change the DNS server to 8.8.8.8. Now any query that I do from now on, okay, so that goes to 8.8.8. It didn't really go to the previous DNS server, right? And I can use this to change to whatever DNS server I want. So I changed it to another DNS server and I type in google.com. So now the response that I got here is actually from 4.2.2.2 and not 8.8.8.8. So this is one particular command which will come in handy if you want to test DNS resolution from different DNS servers. So you don't have to actually go into the interface settings of your computer to change it and then do the queries. You can do it from NSLookup itself. Right. Now, NSLookup by default, the queries that are sent out are all recursive queries. Now, if you want to test an iterative query, what you can do is you can use the option. So just type in set no recurse, right? And when you do google.com right now, the query that was sent out, this was actually an iterative query, right? Now, what is recursive query and what is iterative query? I'll explain that later on in other sections, but this is how you need to do an iterative query from NSLookup. NSLookup by default does recursive queries, and if you want to NSLookup to do iterative queries, this is how you need to set and do the query. So let me just go back and put it to recurse. Okay. Now, to understand the different options that you have in NSLookup, just type in help and hit enter. So that will actually show you all the different options that you can try out with the NSLookup command. Now let us look into some of the options that we have with NSLookup. Now before I do that, let me do a query for google.com, okay, and show you the response. Now you can see the response here. I did a query for google.com and the response that I got was the IPv6 and the IPv4 addresses. It's basically the A record response that I got here and the Cordray response. But when you look at this particular response, you really don't see anything else, right? I mean, there are a lot of other things that you would see when you take a traffic capture of a DNS response packet, right? Like things like the flags, the response codes, but you cannot see that here when you do a query using NSLookup. So that is where an option called debug comes in. So let me do a help. So I'm talking about this particular option called as debug. So by default, debug is not enabled. That is why you only get the response that you saw above. So let me enable debug. It's a simple thing. Just type in set debug and hit enter. Okay. Now do the same query again. Okay. So now you would see a lot of other information which was not there previously, right? So what you can see here is the question section. So you can see the different sections of a DNS query and a response, right? So as you know, a question section will have the query that was done. So here we know that it was an A record, so google.com, and it was an A record query, and the class was the IN class, right? And you can see the different flags and things over here, right? Whether it was a recursive query, right? Things like that. And when you go down, you see the answer section. So in the answer section, you know the response code. So the response code right now is no error. Now there are other response codes like Survey, Linux domain, etc., which you can see it here. But since we got an actual answer here, the response code is mentioned as no error. Means that everything is fine. The opcode is query, and we have the different flags and the sections here. I mean, you have the question section, the answer section has the answers. Basically, this is the IPv6 response, and above we have the IPv4 response. You also have the TTL, or the time to live. This is the amount of time this particular record would be cached in your client, in your personal computer, or in a DNS server's cache, right? So this shows that the A record is actually cached for around 3 minutes, I would say 2 minutes 40 seconds, but the CordRai response is only cached for 30 seconds. So after 30 seconds, I mean, this will get automatically removed from the cache, right? And the system will have to then do the query again to get the answer, the IPv6 answer, right? So this is what you get from the debug if you enable debug. Now if you want to disable debug, all you have to do is set no debug. Now if you do a query google.com, you'll get the same thing that you got earlier. Now let's look at some more help commands. We looked at debug in the previous section. Now D2 is similar to debug, but it gives a little more information. Def name is like if you want to add a domain name to a query. So let's say the domain name is test.com. So all you have to do is you don't really have to type in a.test.com here. You just have to type in a, and NSLOOKUP will actually append the domain name .test.com and do the query as a.test.com. So that's what def name or append domain name to each query means. No recurse, I think we discussed it a little while back. No search is if you want to use the DNS search list that's configured in the system. That is when you need to use this particular option. No VC. Now all of you know that DNS queries, I mean you can send it as a UDP query or a TCP query, right? But generally NSLOOKUP, when it does a query, it is sent as a UDP query. But let's say you want to do a query as a TCP query, right? Then you need to use the option VC. So all you have to do is set VC and do the query. So this query that went out was using TCP. It was not a UDP query, it was a TCP query. If you want to see it, then what you have to do is just run Wireshark on your computer while you're doing this query, and you can see the TCP packets being exchanged, the queries and the responses, right? So that's how you can verify it. So during troubleshooting scenarios, if there is a scenario where you want to check whether TCP queries are working, then you can use this particular option, right? Now one general scenario which I can think about is let's say zone transfer, right? Now all of you know that zone transfer uses TCP, right? I mean during the actual transfer of records from a primary to the secondary, or from a master to slave, right? And if you want to check if TCP port 53 is open, right, then you can use this particular test to check whether port 53 TCP is actually open from your system to the other DNS server. Now to get out of this, you just have to type in another NSLOOKUP option is ls. Now ls can be used to download all the DNS records for a particular DNS zone, right? Now let's say you have a DNS server and you have a domain configured. Let's say for example the domain is called example.com, right? And you have some records configured in it, and you want all those DNS records in a text file. So what you can do is, first of all, you need to enable zone transfer to your computer or the server from which you're going to do this NSLOOKUP query, right? So let's say I am going to do the NSLOOKUP query from this computer. This computer IP address should be allowed in the DNS server's zone transfer setting. Once that is done, then I can use this particular option to get the zone data. So all I have to do is I just have to type in ls and the option, right? If I need the complete zone records, then I have to use -d. If it's only canonical names or CNAMEs and aliases, then -a. So it depends on what you want. So let's say I need the complete thing, then I put it as ls -d and the domain name. So I put example.com and then basically the file name, so where I'm going to write this to, so file.txt. So once I hit enter, now currently I don't have a DNS server from which I can get this data, but once I do this, there would be a file created called file.txt, and inside that file you should be able to see all the DNS records for this particular zone example.com. Again, ensure that zone transfer is enabled and to this particular IP address. If zone transfer is not enabled, then the system will not get the data. Basically, it's a zone transfer request or an AXFR query that goes to the other server. If zone transfer is not allowed, then it will be denied there itself, right? So make sure that it is allowed on the other end. So this is, I would say, a cool option that we have with NSLOOKUP.